It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Hey there, welcome back to Trading Stocks Made Easy. It's your favorite host, Tyrone Jackson. And boy, are we in for a treat. You know, I love doing these shows. Most of them are really good. This is episode 212, The Wealthy Investor and That Luxury Life. Now, sometimes here on the show, I get very technical. I can bring up topics that aren't always the most exciting, like what the Federal Reserve is doing to raise or lower interest rates or some other positive or negative catalyst in the stock market. And the reason I have to talk about those topics is because they're part of the mechanics of trading, right? Today, I'm going to talk about a lot of the fun, the benefits, if you adopt the wealthy investor style and all the great things you can do for yourself, your family, and how you can change your life and your future. Now, all of the benefits I'm going to talk to you about here in this particular episode are ones that I actually live, right? They're all legal, and they're some of the benefits that make me say on a daily basis, is this really my life? So let's talk about some of the benefits of creating a luxury lifestyle. Kevin, I'll need some kind of music transition in here. Just some music. Yeah, and then we'll get into it, okay? All right. So, once you become a six-figure trader, somebody who makes $100,000 or more exclusively from trading, there are some benefits to this. Okay, not only the money that you actually spend, but it's also if you use the right allocation, you'll know what I'm talking about that if you're actually a trader, having at least 1/3 of your portfolio invested in long-term dividend-paying stocks and trading some combination of the rest, you will have residual income no matter whether the stock market goes up, goes down, or stays the same. Now, here's what we know about covered call writing. It produces guaranteed income, right? So I don't need a stock like Home Depot or Nike to always be in an uptrend so that I'm trading the stock and selling it. I simply need it to exist. That's how you get good at generating a six-figure income. Now, one of the things that you can do once you've achieved this six-figure income consistently, which I typically define as more than 3 years, right? You do have to pay tax on that capital gain, but not on all of it. That's why you really need to be working with a tax person so they can explain your capital gains. Well, back to the matter at hand. Once you're able to consistently generate $100,000 or more, this is usually when many of my students are ready to do what? Set up a separate corporation. A corpse, a body that actually trades, and that is the sole purpose of that corporation. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about corporate tax law. You don't have to be a genius, but you do have to know the rules of the game so that you can win. So if I have a trading account that generates consistently $100,000, that is the revenue source for that corporation. Even though it's me still clicking and executing the trades, collecting the dividends, I'm doing it now for a company that I work for. The same way you would set up a company for maybe 12 houses you may own with real estate, or for a gardening business or a restaurant or a dental practice, right? That is a separate body. Well, the reason this is important is because that separate corp, that separate body, that separate company has the pursuit of profit in mind. Well, we already have the profit center, which is buying stocks and selling them. Now, I can now set myself up to receive the benefits. Like, for example, let's say I was good at trading and I was able to generate $100,000 a year. I can now pay myself as an employee. Well, this all sounds very complicated, but you'll be amazed at how simple it is. First of all, you can set up a corporation these days online for less than $500. There are companies who actually do it for you, right? That corporation has a bank account, has a debit card. It is a separate company. but you work for that corporation, right? Okay, so if I'm earning $10,000 a month in trading profits, I could pay myself $5,000, $7,000 a month in salary. Well, what's the benefit of doing that? That corporation now has that $5,000, that $7,000 a month as a corporate write-off. Why? Because employee payments are tax deductible. Now, do you see what I'm doing here? By paying myself, the corporation writes that off and it owes less taxes. What's another corporate expense outside of paying yourself as an employee? Anything I need to run that business, like a cell phone, for example, like one of those giant trading screens or viewing monitors at home, my computer, my new Mac every single year, right? My subscription, my cable bill because the company has to watch CNBC, right? The paper, the printer, anything that is related to the cost of that business directly is now a tax deduction. So if you've ever held Apple stock or you know anything about Apple stock, towards the end of the year, that's where they see the majority of their sales on iPhones and computers. Why? Because corporations already know how much they've actually spent throughout the year. They can kind of assess their tax deductibility if you're keeping track of all records. And they'll say, rather than writing this check to the United States for capital gains, why don't we spend $10,000, $15,000 on upgrading our computer systems? Why? Because if you upgrade all of your new Macs, your cell phone, and all of the services that go along with it, you've created a tax deduction. Now, let's just talk about corporate tax here, just so you are educated. Not only does the United States government say you can write off the cost of buying that computer system, here's where you have to talk to your accountant. You get something called depreciation for 5 years off of the equipment that you purchased. Depreciation is a non-out-of-pocket expense, your accountant will understand this, that you get to take every single year for 5 years. It's in effect like getting a tax deduction for owning your Mac, your cell phone, your computer system, your printer for 5 years after the purchase is over. Now, be sure to work with an accountant on this, on depreciation, on cost of computers and things like that, because Congress changes the tax law on a regular basis. But as it stands now, not only can you write off the cost of the cell phone, the service, and the computer, you get the 5-year depreciation on the equipment itself. Now, what people don't realize is when you start trading in a corporation, there are other things that are tax deductible. Any product or service that is related to your education as a trader. So if you had to go somewhere and take a seminar to upgrade your professional trading skills, guess what? That whole trip, your airfare, your hotel, your food, and any other expenses become a corporate expense. So therefore, when you travel to further your education, anything that you spend is tax deductible. Do you get that? Right. So when you open your corporation, again, only once you've earned over $100,000 or more for a 3-year period, you can also get a corporate credit card. You can get an American Express card because that corp, as I keep saying, is a separate body, right? Right. And that'll help you keep track of your expenses. Did you know that? That's really interesting. See, getting this financial education is huge because somewhere along the line, you're going to have to figure out how to legally pay less taxes. Now, if you're generating $200,000 or more and you have a spouse or partner, they can also receive a paycheck from you, and that paycheck is tax deductible as part of your corporate income, right? Now, here's what I really love about all of this. If my lady is also taking a tax deduction because she actually works for me, that means that our payroll company can also set us up with a 401k. Let's think about this. So we're making money from trading, right? My lady, my wife, my spouse, she now can get a paycheck from that corporation from trading. Am I working 8 hours a day? No. Am I trading primarily Dow stocks? Yes. The only thing that could stop that money from coming into the corporation is if there are no covered calls to write that month. Do you get it? Right. There are always covered calls to write, whether they're 7 days, 30 days, 14 days, 6 months. There's always income to generate. Now, if the covered call income is from a corporation and we're both receiving salaries and a 401k, what is a 401k? It is a savings plan, essentially, that you can use to save for retirement. The contributions to the 401k are tax deductible. Did you know that? Of course. And there's an annual match that your corporation, I'm smiling because I can hardly get through it. It's amazing to me. Okay. Most 401k plans say that, hey, Tyrone, if you put money in, that's great. But a certain time during the year, depending upon how you set up your plan, your corporation must match the contributions that you actually put in. So that match that comes from the corporation, where the revenue comes from stock market trading and dividends, that match is tax deductible. Now, let's stop for a moment. That means that I am what? That I am actually getting wealthy many times. Because not only do I get a corporation salary, I also get a match on the corporation. Now, when there's money left over out of my profits at the end of the year, I can also pay myself a corporate bonus based on performance. Isn't this something? Now you understand with the keys to the kingdom, right? Why the rich get richer. Because if I were earning $200,000 a year trading, why would I keep all of that money in my name directly? Because I don't have the same kind of corporate write-offs and benefits. But if I take those same funds, transfer them to a corporate account, all of my expenses can go under the corporation legally. In fact, I can even have healthcare benefits that are what? Corporate tax deduction. You see, when you open your mind twice the size, you suddenly realize that America is a very interesting place to do business. This is why you and I, working on a millionaire mindset, should not resent the people who understand the rules, who understand how small and large corporations work, and why you don't want to have everything in your name personally as you grow your wealth. Now, I know for many of you listening out there, this is absolutely amazing, and it sounds amazing because no one ever explained it to you. So here is the phrase that pays in today's episode, and it goes like this: all wealth is taught. All wealth is taught. Unless someone sits you down and explains this all to you, you don't know what you don't know, right? It's like you're in the dark. And when you listen to this show, you go into the light of awareness and financial education. Now, as I keep saying to you in this episode, you must check with your accountant because these rules change from time to time. Why? Congress looks at its revenue and they go, we're not generating enough revenue. We're going to change that particular tax law. So if you're one of those people that says, I don't want an accountant because they cost money, I don't want to work with a tax specialist, I could just do it on a piece of software. Guess what? If you're one of those people, you are perpetually thinking small. This is why wealthy people have people who help them plan out their future, plan out their corporate revenue, plan out what kind of real estate they're going to buy, lay everything down on paper in financial terms so you can see where you're going. When you start to trade in a corporation's name, it's very powerful, but you've got to be able to get yourself up to $100,000 a year in income. Back with some more corporate tips and tricks and benefits of the Wealthy Investor Lifestyle right after this.
Want to increase your stock market trading profits? Then you need to start your monthly membership to WITradeschool.com right now. Don't understand how to write covered calls for monthly income? No problem. Simply review Tyrone's latest stock trades in our video library as many times as you need. WITradeschool.com is all about helping you get the financial education you need to earn money in the stock market and change your financial life. Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, has helped his students earn thousands of dollars per month trading stocks online from home. These are people just like you. So what are you waiting for? Follow Tyrone Jackson's red-hot stock trades and investment strategies today. Don't wait. Start your monthly membership at WITradeschool.com right now.
Hey, it's Tyrone Jackson, Wealthy Investor again, and I just wanted to remind you that if you enjoy listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast, be sure to share it with your friends all across social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you enjoy hearing about success principles that inspire you, as well as interviews with some of my most successful students, I want to remind you it's right here at the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast, wherever you get your podcast. And make sure you download as much free material as you want at thewealthyinvestor.net. I'll see you there. So right before the break, we were talking about corporations, right? The other thing is, wouldn't it be great if your corporation actually paid for a vacation? Now, this part is not always tax deductible. There are certain circumstances in which things change. But if you knew you would be able to receive your salary that month, and as part of your executive package, your corporation paid for a trip to one of your favorite exotic locations. Now, you all know how much I love the Four Seasons and how much I love Maui. I am there at least once a year. Why? Because a large portion of those funds are tax deductible. Maybe not everything, but I like the 5-star service there, the food, the staff knows me when I get there. Mr. Jackson, it's nice to have you back again. And for me, that is the epitome of luxury. Now, I can find a new luxury spot, let's say in Fiji, and that would be my favorite place, and the corporation could fly me over there as an employee, as an officer for some event or whatever it is that I'm doing. But one of the beauties of this is being able to live a lifestyle legally, while when you think about it, most of this income is actually coming from passive income, right? So when I'm in a place like Maui or Fiji or wherever it is that I'm going, can I still run my business? That is to say, can I still trade stocks and earn my salary? Absolutely. As long as I have what? An internet connection, right? So imagine now, let's push it, that you're earning $500,000 a year as a trader. The beauty is that you can be anywhere in the world and you're making $40,000, $50,000 a month and reaping all the tax benefits while living the 5-star lifestyle. Isn't that really awesome? Right. So when you grow your money in the stock market and you have a plan, instead of settling for $100,000, $200,000 a year, if you simultaneously invest in stocks that have a tendency to go higher and pay a dividend, those dividends are also corporate income, and you can generate this income from anywhere in the world. The problem that I see in everyday life for most people is not that they don't dream big enough. They don't know that it's their job and responsibility in life to create financial freedom for themselves. Well, guess what I'm telling you here today? That is your job. That is your responsibility to learn how to effectively trade and invest in the stock market so you can have the lifestyle of your dreams. And your dreams are important. Now, here's what's interesting. If I keep continuing to encourage you to live your dreams, when your dreams come true, what's going to happen for the people around you? Their dreams are going to come true. So let me explain this to you. When you start making $250,000 to $500,000 trading in the stock market using covered calls, won't you have more money to give to charity? Won't you be able to start a charity? That money, since you don't need every dime and every dollar, can go out and feed homeless people, kids who have nothing for Christmas, right? All because you listened to the show and you thought differently. Your thoughts are very powerful. So when I talk to you about financial success, it's not just for your benefit. It's not just for my benefit. It's really for the benefit, if you think about it, for the entire world, anybody that you touch. Now that's big. If you don't have to work a 9-to-5 job and still have a 6-figure income that never stops, and you could trade from anywhere in the world, would you do it? I believe that you would. I submit that you should, because the experience is worth having. And when your kids see you living this lifestyle, not simply because you worked hard, but you worked smart. What are you teaching them, right? So you've heard me talk about many times on the show, I have 2 daughters, right? I can talk to them about wealth, but they have proof of the lifestyle because they've benefited. Hey, remember that we go to Maui every summer? Remember we take private planes? Remember that great restaurant where you guys love the food? Remember that restaurant where the dessert was like really salty and we were like, we'll never come here again? Where were we doing it? We were doing it from places where we were living the 5-star lifestyle. So in all the things that I talk about on the show, there are a lot of benefits that come from creating wealth using the stock markets. Now, that's not to say that you'll never have your ups and downs, right? Sometimes markets go up and down. Maybe that year we didn't make that $100,000. Now, here comes the twist. Get ready. That's why you really want to focus on earning $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. So if you ever fall short of, let's say, your $500,000 and you made $300,000, you're still okay. The problem is not only do people not dream, they dream too small. You have to dream bigger so that if you miss your target, you're still okay. All right? Great. Luxury lifestyle, helping people benefiting from your dreams coming true, that's a good thing. Well, here's something we haven't talked about in a while. What if you're able to trade $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in profits consistently? How would you help your parents? They may be older, right? They may not have a financial education. You can say, Mom, Dad, could you just give me 90 days to sell covered calls in your account? And let's see what we can actually cook up in terms of residual income for you guys. Most people, if you haven't screwed your parents over, your parents will say, okay, I'll give you 90 days. This is all the money that we have. Could you sell some of those covered calls and let's see if we can actually generate some income? And let's say you do it and you're able to deliver $5,000 to $10,000 extra for your parents every month. Would that feel good? It feels great, right? So your dreams coming true are very important in part so that you could help other people, right? Other people around you. Now, here's where it gets a little crazy because we're going to multiply a couple of things here, right? Let's say, for example, I'm reaching that $250,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, whatever it is, in my corporate account. And I have a 401k or a retirement plan, IRA. Can I still be trading in an IRA using the Wealthy Investor Sweep inside my IRA account? Yes, I can. Wait a minute. You mean I'm trading inside a corporate account, getting a paycheck from that, and I'm still trading my retirement? I'm in charge of that twice? Yes. Wow. You could do that? Of course. Let's combine real estate. Can I trade in a corporate account, trade my IRA, and maybe own an extra house that brings me residual income because I rent it out? Yes. Wow. Well, how come everybody isn't living a life like this, Tyrone? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Well, you know something? I don't get it either. That's why I did the show for you today. To open up your mind, to encourage your consciousness to achieve big things. But wait a minute. If I am trading in a corporate account, trading in my IRA, can my kids who are under 13, can I have a trading account for them? You sure can. Now, most 13-year-olds don't need an extra $100,000 a month, but what kind of precedent are you setting for those kids when at 13, without even knowing it, they have passive income because mom or dad bought Apple stock for them? It's powerful. It's all about what you are conscious of and your beliefs about what are possible financially. You listen to this show, hopefully, to get a dose of positive energy week after week after week so you don't settle, so you get out of your comfort zone. That is my hope. That is my intention. Well, today gives us something really to celebrate because it's not only the lifestyle, the goodies, the good life, but it's also the people who will benefit from that good life, all because of you, your choices that you make. You know, this is a small thing, but when I'm off at my favorite 5-star hotel, because of the way that my money comes in, I'm a fairly generous tipper, right? Not only am I just a nice guy to people because they're working and I appreciate their hard work, but when I get one of those fancy SUVs, when I'm in Maui, and sometimes I don't really pay attention to how much it costs. But when I pull in, the guy goes, "Oh, Mr. Jackson, you're back." And they take my car. I give them a little something, right? Why? Because I make covered call income every single week, right? So I can afford to be generous. Why? Because the stock market supplies me with an endless source of money and wealth, right? So am I helping the guy who gets the car by being generous to him? Yeah, well, if I give him a couple of bucks, I'm not paying his rent. But I can play out my kindness that way, right? I can be a good person. I can set up good juju, good karma, whatever it is you want to call it, right? Because how my money flows, right? Well, think about how your money flows, how you treat other people because you don't have enough of it, or perhaps you're trading. Do you play that out? Do you play out your kindness through money? You should. It feels really good, and it makes it even easier to go back and place successful trades. You see, this good life kicks off a cycle, right? And how you see the world, how you trade, how your money comes, how you treat other people, and all of a sudden, you're living in this zone of hope and positivity every single day. And I'm so fortunate wherever I go, people go, "You're such a nice guy," or "Great to see you again," or "I saw 100 people, but I remember you," right? Because I set up this zone of positivity around me in the way that I treat people, my outlook, and how my money comes in. And believe me, manifesting money is just a habit. And when you get in the habit of manifesting money, you almost don't remember what your past life was like. If I really sit down and I think about it, I can think about how my single mother raised me and how little we have, right? But my new life is so glorious and so much fun most of the time that who wants to think about the past? So now I use my past as more of a teaching tool. It's time to move forward. Think about some of these principles, some of these ideas, the life that you desire. Shoot a little bit higher than what you think you need. So if you don't make your income or your income target from trading, you're still okay. But it is time to start thinking big. No more thinking small, because it's time for you to live that luxury life. I'm Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, saying I'll see you right here next week on the next Trading Stocks Made Easy.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button and you'll automatically receive our next episode.